So hey again, everybody. This is the second time you're hearing from me this week. Lucky you. But I am actually in my school building, and I want you to admire my shirt while you're at it. See, marble, very excellent. I'm in my school, and I just got out of my health class, so I'm in lunch right now, so I'm not, skipping out, whatever. But I got out of health class, and today in health class we had the bullying talk because we're doing a unit on decision making and risk taking and blah blah blah. I could go on forever about how I dislike this unit, but at the end of class today, because we did the the different forms of bullying and all of that, and at the end of class today, I asked my health teacher, who kindly said if I could stand up and look at the class while I told them something, because I think that it's important that everybody hears this who needs to. Maybe not everybody who doesn't, but it can't hurt. It might help. But so I kind of went and I started out, and you hear all of these things. I'm not going to call it propaganda because it's for the same. It's the facts. I mean, it's not propaganda if it's true. I don't think. But I started out and I said, yeah, it's all good and fine to not be a bully, and that's obvious. It's a given. Don't be a jerk. It's probably a safe bet. But it's rare, I think, to see the tables turned when it comes to suicide. And I guess I want to start out by saying, yes, I'm all right. I am, stable. I'm not going to commit suicide. Don't worry about me. I'm getting help, blah, blah, blah. But I want to say stuff about suicide from somebody who has spent every day that they can remember thinking about how it's an option. And I want to say that for me, it's not an option, but I mean, it's always in the grand spectrum of options. It's there. But I want to tell you why. Now, I think, to put it quite bluntly, suicide is very selfish. And coming from somebody who wakes up every morning and, the first thought into their head, aside from why are the lights on in my room or whatever, is, darn, I woke up. So it's not that it's not that I want to be here, but I'm never going to leave it in my own hands, because that is a terrible thing to do. And from my opinion, it is because the reason that I am alive is because I have the most amazing people in my life. I have the most amazing friends, and I could talk on end because they'd hand me the world on a silver platter without me even asking. And they're wonderful. And I have a great family too. I mean, I kind of include those in my bubble of friends. Usually it's the other way around, but whatever. And they're the reason that I'm still alive, because I think that for somebody like me who doesn't think they're worth it and thinks that I think I'm a toxic human being. I think that I'm not good for people. But I am aware of the fact that there are people who love me. And I'm aware of the fact that people I don't know may love me too. And people that I would have gotten the chance to know, or I'm going to get the chance to know, are going to love me too. And I think that it is completely and utterly cruel, morally wrong, whatever word you want to take for it, to leave every single person that you care so much about, that you're so worried that you're hurting them, that you're going to leave them every single day of their life wondering if they could have been the one person who could have said something, to have you still be there, or to have you, speak up and at least, get it out there. But it's not fair. And I know, everybody's life's not fair. It's not, no, but doesn't mean that you can't help it. And I'm not going to tell you that everything is just going to be fine if you hang in there, because I mean, there are a lot of other things that need to happen for things to be better. But killing yourself is not going to make them better for other people. I always say, you don't live your life for yourself. You live your life for every person that you ever touch around you. And whether you are the hero, the villain, or the sidekick in that story, you live it in somebody else's story. And, sometimes, I'm friends with the musical theater kids. They're a blast, but that's not the point. And I kind of act like I'm always acting. Because I don't like who I am. But that's another story, and I'm working on that, and blah, blah, blah. But I want to say, if you are a theater kid, you can understand this. Act, you never break character in a performance. You never break character. So if you just think of your whole life as a performance, and you make the character that you play, in your head, the person that you want to be, don't break character from that person you want to be. And duh, it's not easy, but But suicide's not the answer. Circling back, ADD moments, I'm sorry. And, you know, that's for a lot of reasons. And, you know, I have this little theory that, you know, when sometimes you're just sitting at home and you're just, your chest hurts. Like, not like, you know, oh, I'm dying, I'm having a heart attack, but just, you know, that little, wonder what that is. Sorry, I'm looking at boobs. Wonder what that is. And I have this little theory in my pretty little head of mine, and I'm now sharing it, I guess, on the ugly internet, and I have a theory that those feelings that you get are where somebody who you were supposed to meet or supposed to have met should have been. And that's probably silly because there's no, like, you know, scientific proof for that, but, you know, that's not my problem. And I think that there are a lot of kids out there who need to hear this, a lot of adults, to be quite honest, who need to hear this, because I don't care what you think. I don't care what I think. I mean, I do, obviously, but it doesn't matter what I think, because suicide is the answer to the question of, I don't want to be alive. But it is a question you should never, ever ask yourself. It's a question you should never have to ask yourself. It's a question that you should just, you know, avoid entirely. You know, if you could just don't touch that with, you know, a 50-foot pole. But I think that it's important to know that there are people on the other side, not the people who are looking in on the kid who was bullied and committed suicide, but looking out from the girl who has, at 8 years old, went to her mother and said, I don't want to kill myself, but I wish that I'd never been born, so that way I wouldn't have to be alive, but no one would know to miss me. And that's, you know, 8 years old, pretty powerful. And I get that, and, you know, I know that that's not everybody's story, but it shouldn't have to be anybody's, and that's a whole different issue, but nothing is worth it, okay? And if you want to say nothing's worth it, that's not true. You're worth it, blah, blah, blah. But don't you leave everybody that you've ever known and that you're ever gonna know thinking that they could have been the one person, or wondering if they were the one person that put you over the edge. It's so not fair. It's not right. It's morally degrading, and it's kind of insulting, honestly, that you think that it's okay to be the person who causes this harm in this mushroom cloud that just reigns over everything. And that's what you do when you kill yourself. And I want you to know that. And I do. And maybe this helped you, maybe it didn't. Maybe it's just another one of those, you know, what's the point in being a voice when everyone's already sick of the noise? Like, I get that. Icon for hire quote there, just for anybody who knows that. And I know what it's like. I know what it's like to not think you're worth it. And I know what it's like to hear these things coming in and, you know, file through them in your little mental secretary so that you can back up the point that you want to believe that you aren't worth it, that you're a toxic human being. And, you know, as it's been explained to me, I know I'm a little bit hypocritical as I go off on these, well, I'm fine, you know, you should just do this. I'm not fine. I am getting better. And I know that. And I think that it's really, 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 really important that people like me hear this. Or people not like me, I guess. People in the same situations as me who aren't like me. Because I value people more than anything in the world. And there are a lot of people that I don't value. But people as a whole, they have this residual good. And I suppose you call that the faith in humanity. But every time you off yourself, or somebody offs themselves, obviously, you can only do it once, but that's one less person who could have been a part of the faith of humanity. Because there are bad people out there, and it's easy to black and white good and bad. And there's a lot of gray area. I mean, I'm not going to argue, there's a lot of gray area, but it's not fair, you know, again, focus on the whole you part. Don't. And I'm not just going to say don't because that's what everybody's supposed to say. I don't know you. You don't know me. This is out there for the whole world to see all pretty like. It's not okay. And, you know, I have a lot of friends who have issues, and they'll say things like, I'm done or I give up, and I have another video on that you can go watch if you want to, but don't ever give up. Because, yeah, I'm surviving, and someday I'll start living, maybe. You know, that's the goal. But you survive any way you have to. because that's the only way things are ever going to get better. So, have a great day.